And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. It's time for some crazy news. Let's begin in Tennessee, where a tantalizing tow is not safe in a hotel with a manager who has an eye for some alluring ass feet. Police say this guy, David Neal, the hotel manager at the Hilton, could not control himself when he saw those toes check in. Police believe he made a copy of the guest's key card and then slid into the room while the man was asleep. It was his chance to have unlimited pleasure with the guest's damn toes. While the guy was asleep, the manager, nasty as Neal, began sucking on the man's toes. Neal's excuse was he only went into the room because he smelled smoke. I think he smelled those damn toes, and he had a burning desire he could not extinguish until he had those digits in his mouth. Okay, I just made my own damn self sick. We're in our last days. Let's pray on it. And, of course, Neal was charged. Also trending tonight, how the hell did a Brazilian doctor, get this, rip off a newborn baby's head? This craziness happened while the mom was in labor at a hospital in Brazil. According to the baby girl's father, the baby was alive when she was beginning to come out of her mother. That's when the doctor got on top of the mother and began pulling the baby by the head. And the rest is, of course, heartbreaking. Dr. Danish Ali with Archpoint Pain Institute has more on explaining this craziness to us. So, Dr. Ali, just how does something like this happen? Obviously, we're talking about a hospital in Brazil, but how does a doctor pull a child's head off during the birthing process? I mean, how does that happen?
Yeah, Isaiah, it's a totally tragic set of events. I do completely agree. My condolences to the families that were affected. However, Isaiah, let's review this article a little bit. This was a female who was in her 28th week, and which we know is early in terms of pregnancy and delivery. And so from what I can tell, having read this article, Isaiah, that it must have been some sort of an emergency where the doctor felt that this baby needs to be removed sooner than later, and that's why they were doing this, number one. I do believe, and I've heard of instances where the cord, the placenta and the cord for which the baby gets nutrients can sometimes wrap around the neck, and that is a medical emergency where you have to go in immediately and try to remove the baby out immediately. Otherwise, you can pose a threat to the mother and to the baby itself. And when you do that, when you are extracting the baby, depending on multiple factors, the pelvis, where the baby is in relation, sometimes the baby's foot can be stuck coming out first. And so there's a lot of variables, and that's why you do have to apply some traction at times. And unfortunately, this premature baby that was being delivered did get traction, and that traction may have led to the passing of this baby.
And of course, the allegation is, and this is not for you to address, but the allegation is that they tried to cover it up. The hospital tried to cover it up, tried to get them to sign documents. Obviously, that's one side of the story, always multiple sides to a story. But is there a concern as a physician when you have family members in that operating room, whether it's a birth or some other procedure that's going on?
There's always concern, obviously, Isaiah. I mean, physicians have gone through tremendous many years of training in order to be competent in the things that they're doing and performing. And sometimes what may be a normal process in terms of what's required in this example of, getting a baby delivered, where you do have to apply some traction, could be a normal process where for somebody else that may not be experienced in that, it may look as though it's, some sort of harm being done to the patient or the baby. So I think that's definitely some concerns, but I do understand this is a very, it's a very important time for folks, and they want to be involved in it as well. But these medical professionals have years of experience and training and all of these things, and there are some things that may seem like it may not be exactly, but it's somewhat required in order to do things that need to be done.
And case in point, many people took issue to him being on top of her trying to remove the child. Is that some type of maneuver that the average public wouldn't know about, that he would as a doctor who's delivering a child?
That's correct, Isaiah. That's a great point that you brought up. Yes, you have to apply some traction as well in attempts to push the baby out from the stomach portion of it, from the abdomen. Yes, and that may seem like it's too much or too hard, but there is quite a bit of traction that you want to apply, because there's such a limited time that you have to get this baby delivered and out. And it's a very, very important moment that needs to be controlled and done at a very fast speed. And so, yes, you do apply that traction on the mother's stomach to attempt to get that baby out immediately.
Wow, just a sad situation here. Unfortunate. I mean, to have a child and the head come off during delivery is just a nightmare. Dr. Danish Ali, Arch Point Pain Institute, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored and trying to make sense of this crazy situation.